Welcome, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here talking tech in English. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We'll be joined shortly by Terry Johnson online, all the way from New York City, bringing us information about digital strategies here in the space where you want to have a business place. Also, we're going to be joined hopefully by Dr. Tachi all the way from Florida. So we got Florida, Pennsylvania, New York, and California all in the house at one time. You know, we need a pencil so we can catch some of these nuggets. But we always like to get started by giving a shout out to everybody listening. If you're in the clubhouse or if you're over there on Instagram, we just want to say hi. And we also want to thank everyone who's watching live and on the replay. Come on in and join the conversation. Let's get started. We always like to start this day out with this week in tech history. And I'm wondering what Francine's got in store for us today. Hey, Fran, what's going on over there?
Well, I am trying to get this picture together for you guys. I'll pull that off to the side so that people on Instagram can see what's happening. Okay. This is a whole different thing. It's like leveling plates.
Yes, we're in a lot of places and spaces today.
All right, let's see, where do I want to go first? Okay, we already did that one. I'm going to go, NASA unveils Enterprise. September 17th, 1976, NASA rolls out the first space shuttle Enterprise from its assembly facility to a waiting crowd. Included in the crowd was a delegation of actors from the Star Trek TV series. And I'm going to bring you in over here. And so from the TV series, and then let's see what else is happening. Yeah, you're going to need to mute on okay. The Star Trek TV series.
I'm getting feedback, so.
Yeah, mute your Instagram.
Oh, let's see if I can find it. Oh,
There you go.
So,
there was a group of actors from the Star Trek TV series, originally named Constitution. A write-in campaign by Star Trek fans convinced President Gerald Ford and NASA to rename the space shuttle. The Enterprise was a prototype shuttle designed for early testing phase of the space shuttle program. It was built without engines or functional heat shield. While it performed various astrophysics test flights and was originally intended to be retrofitted for space flight, it was determined that it would be less expensive to simply build new shuttles. Therefore, Enterprise never did actually fly into space. Hey, Barbara.
I didn't know that.
Right. Okay. But they did it, you know. Okay, let me fix this. Okay, the next story. Let's go with September 20th, 1954. The first Fortran program is executed. Fortran was developed by IBM scientists who were looking for a better way to program the IBM 704 mainframe computer. It quickly became the dominant programming language for scientific and engineering applications and is still used today, especially in the area of high performance computing. Who knew? I am going to, let's see, last story. The first Android introduced. Anybody know what year? September 23rd, 2008, Google and T-Mobile introduced the T-Mobile G1, also known as the HTC Dream, the world's first Android-based smartphone. By raw sales numbers today, Android is the world's most popular smartphone platform. It's the most popular, but probably
Okay, so we're talking. See, when you said androids, I was thinking avatars, and I was going to say 1989. But okay, we're
no,
talking
not
Android
no
phones.
Android phones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow, 2008. Is that all?
right. Because not too long before then, the iPhone came out, right? So, okay,
Mm, okay.
interesting.
Wow. I wasn't okay. I was off.
So, tech history, that's what we do.
hmm Yes, tech history is where we're at. Guys, I just hope that you are enjoying this week in tech history because we're talking Tech Life Weekly. So I have a question. Am I echoing here on?
Yes, you are, because that means you probably need to
Okay.
come down half on your volume and then uh, just make sure you're muted on.
I am muted over here on Instagram. I can tell that. And
Okay.
so just let me come out of Instagram. Let me leave this for now. Okay, so I wanna. How you doing today, TJ? Okay, we cannot hear you, but it's okay.
But she,
Because my mic was turned off.
Oh, that's all right. A simple thumbs up will do. I'm going to get started. I got a couple of stories I want to sock it to you. Anybody remember that phrase from I don't know what year? But anyway, this is all about kid entrepreneurs and some things that are going on in that space. So I'm going to share my screen because I like to do illustrations when possible. And I liked this little story about this kid who started a sock business
Ooh.
called Are You Kidding? And so I'm going to play this little video for you guys and give you a little overview from him about what this is all about. Here's his YouTube video.
My mom saw the passion I had for socks, so she decided to make that into a family business. Well, Are You Kidding began about 5 years ago when my mom asked my brother, who loved socks, he loved them so much. And she asked him, hey, do you want to start a business? So he started running to the table, got paper, pencils, and that's how we started. What makes us stand out from other companies? Well, first of all, we're kids. Not many sock companies have kids. Most of them are adults. And second, we're giving back for people in need. The charities and organizations we work with is Live Like Bella, Big Brother Big Sisters, Make a Wish, Special Olympics, and many more. And it's awesome to see through our socks that we're able to help. The Kids Helping Kids initiative, I think, is really good because that means we get to help as many kids as we get to that are in need, and we never know if one day that will need help. I want people to remember Are You Kidding about how awesome it was. Like how cool the socks were, how good we are at selling, and our charity work, giving back, helping people in need. It's awesome. Kids, we are the future. It's our responsibility to help make the world a better place. What are you going to do to help make a difference? To learn more about Are You Kidding, visit areyoukiddingsocks.com.
Here we are. I thought that was phenomenal. These kids have sold hundreds of thousands of socks. And here's how they did it. They started partnering with schools for fundraisers.
Mm.
Oh.
People saw them selling the socks. Oh, this is a great idea. Now they actually will customize a sock for your fundraiser, and a portion of their proceeds goes to benefit your charity. They also have a 5013C foundation, which they are using to give back to those that they choose are in need. The main focus is donating socks to kids in foster care,
Oh.
homeless, and those affected by natural disasters. Because afterwards you need dry socks if you're in a
Yeah.
flood or, something of that nature. Um, who thinks to save socks? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I thought this was really phenomenal. And they've been doing this since they were the ages 6 and 8. And
Mhm.
um, of course, now they're teenagers. And so it's grown into a really large um, business and a nonprofit.
I
Good.
think I like the idea of having that for the fundraiser instead of the popcorn and
The
the cookie.
candy, they do and cookies and
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the
Sweet.
socks are better because we ain't have to eat it all.
And they're reusable.
who doesn't need socks?
Right.
You know what I mean? And
You have feet, you need
Socks.
that's true. It's something everyone could use. So the fact how it ended up becoming a fundraiser for their different partners.
Mhm.
So they every time they buy socks, the kids get money for their business, and someone benefits. So it was just, I thought it was a good story.
It is a good story.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now I also have a story about a teenager who started a company called, let me go here. Let me share. Sharing is caring. Okay. And let me pull this up. It's called Wise Pocket Products.
Oh, they were on Shark Tank, I see, with the
They were
picture
on
there.
Shark Tank. And this is what the deal is. Um, this kid saw his sister putting her phone in her boot because she was going out, to run or to walk or whatever it was, and she had boots on. And
Mhm.
so she slipped the phone down her boot, because she didn't have any pockets in her outfit that she could put the phone in securely. And so
Right.
he thought about it and he put his down there. But when he put his phone down his boots, it hit his ankles. And he said, "This is
Right.
not comfortable." So he decided to create a sock that
With a
had a
pocket.
pocket at the top of the sock.
Mhm. Mhm.
And he created the business called Wise Pockets.
Love it.
See those socks? This is the
Mhm.
latest sock, Wise sock, and they're $15 a pair. Okay.
Mhm.
And also they've have some sample stuff coming up. They're going to be coming into backpacks, but right now they're still working on these socks. Look how colorful they are.
Yeah.
And then this is their story. I saw my older cousin one day his cousin put her phone in her boot because she didn't have any pockets in her leggings. Okay, and when it slipped down, when he tried it, it hurt his ankle,
Mhm.
etc. Like I told you the story.
Right.
And out of that, Wise Pocket Products was born. Now, it says we're the G kids and more who want their purchases to make a difference. We will give back to the communities all over the world. I love this about these businesses, and give to other charities. We will shape the world we live in and change the world one pair of socks at a time. They have leggings coming, ladies.
There you go.
Oh, you mean with pockets already in them?
Yes. Mhm.
Mhm.
Like somebody could have, yeah.
Like
'Cause I have,
cargo pants, I guess. You know what I
well,
mean?
the leggings some of the leggings I have pockets on the side now.
Yeah.
Right.
But it is whoever they solved a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They really
Yeah.
did solve a problem, because
They did.
a lot of people, like, if you're wearing shorts, go back to that picture, Terry, go back
With
up.
the leggings.
Crying. Yeah. Let's
No,
see.
no, right there.
Oh, wait a minute.
Back, where it says shop socks, because we couldn't see the socks actually in shop socks. Now go to the picture, because we
Now you
couldn't
see?
see exactly how it was working.
It
Stop.
goes to the top of the sock, not down here. See that?
Right.
Right. And so the pocket is at the top where, okay, because I couldn't see where the
Right.
was.
And then see how they're saying is phone, EpiPen, inhaler, or whatever you need to keep close. And and I like that they said active kids, because it's like kids that playing soccer or doing something athletic or just being out and about and they don't have pockets, that they need their EpiPen or their inhaler or their phone. There it is. It makes
Right.
perfect sense. It's like, why nobody thought of that before? And
I
here
don't
we
know,
are.
man.
You know,
Here we
because
are.
usually they're out running or doing something, even if you don't want it on you during the game, you want access to your stuff.
They're at soccer practice, this practice, that practice, and they got to put their stuff in the bleachers or what on the side over there. Nobody wants to do that.
Right. And that's why I wanted to see the actual picture of that sock, because because those just looks like sock in a package, but that shows me what they're doing.
Yeah, they have a pocket on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
that's really good.
That's their story, and we're sticking to it.
Also, I love the wise movement thing where they give back, because that's important too. If Gen Z and millennials are your target audience, they love anything where their purchase, they feel like they're giving back to the environment or to community, or they're helping people. That's an incentive. That's another incentive for them.
Mm-hmm. And every business should have a charitable arm. Seriously. You know what I mean?
Have to mean it. But you have to mean it. It just can't be, well, I want to sell something, so let me, throw up a charitable whatever. It's like Amazon, when you pick you can pick a charity that when you buy your purchases, and there's a certain amount that goes back to this
Amazon Smile.
Yeah, Smile. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So those are my
Those
stories.
Little things make a difference.
I hope they will keep your heart and your feet warm as we talk today, because I was out today and the weather has changed here in Pennsylvania. I don't know the rest of the world.
Yeah, I was complaining on Tuesday how hot it was, and I'm like, today we woke up, it was like 50 something. I'm happy.
Well, it's a little cool here, so I may have to come back to California soon.
Why? It's 50 something here too.
Oh no, you know what? I think y'all are colder.
Yeah, it was like 55 when I went out for my walk today. I guess I said, I guess I'm gonna put some socks on, because before I was just walking in my my other shoes that were kind of like open toe. They're not sandals, but I didn't have to. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, these are comfortable, and I was like, oh wait, it's gonna be a little cool today. I need to put some socks and shoes on today. So I had and a jacket, you know what I mean? I was like, ooh, it ain't. We had a heat wave a few last week. We was like 100 and 110, 112, and then this week, not 60. So much. Mm-hmm. Hey, Yolanda. Yolanda's over on
Yolanda.
Facebook. So that was
people over here on IG. How you doing?
Yeah, there's some stuff happening. I got to remember.
So that's all I got. And so I guess, Terry, I think you're up.
Okay. Let me get my notes. I was so involved with your stories, I forgot to pull up mine. Like, ooh, I like the sound of that.
Was genius the way those little kids started that sock company, though.
Yeah. I love to hear about these young people.
Yes.
out there doing things they can do with, with technology. And that's what we're supposed to do. We hear so much about the negative side of it, always like to uplift the positive side of it.
Right.
So it's always good to hear, because you hear things, oh, these kids are always on the phone. They this, that, and that. And I'm like, well, you have to realize that especially Gen Alpha, Alpha is like under 13. They're growing up with digital everything. They don't know what a landline is, or a VCR, or all the things that we know. Like, they don't know those things. So why
They
would
do
you?
not know life
Right.
without the
So you
internet.
can't relate how you as a kid to them. Let them use the phone, but you have to, put rules in place, and monitor them, and you teach them how to navigate safely.
Can I, while you're
Go ahead,
pulling
go
the
ahead.
notes, there's a story from John Deere
Mhm.
tractor. You think, oh, okay. So John Deere is facing some growing pains with its digital embrace.
Mm.
It is talking about, whoops, I didn't mean to go over that far when I clicked that button. Yeah, so John Deere, they are automatizing their tractors.
Mhm.
And then they had the recent jailbreak of a partially automated John Deere tractor underscored the issue. As John Deere digitizes, some experts are worrying about cyber risks. If you can jailbreak a phone, you can jailbreak a tractor. And if you can jailbreak a John Deere tractor, you can play Doom on its touchscreen. So,
What?
So in August, Australian hackers sick codes show how to do just that on John Deere's 2630 and 4240 model tractors. So they were playing a video game, but that just led to some questions about cybersecurity.
Well, that means their company, John, that's not a priority for them, obviously,
correct.
because it's easy. Well, not easy, but I'm saying it's not like, oh, what do we do? Well, you hire a cybersecurity expert firm, and they tell you, close the loopholes here, check your network, check your this and that, and you can keep these people out of your. Yeah, it's not. So if you don't, if the company is old as John Deere, if they're not prioritizing technology and putting it first, because they have older people on the board, or the CEO doesn't care, or whatever, that's why you have to have young minds around who can see what you don't see as a company. So
Especially since these farms are changing hands. They're changing hands into major corporations.
yeah,
They're
because
changing hands into the next generation.
right.
And that generation is tech savvy.
Right. And a lot of the farms are being bought, like you said, about corporations, because the younger people don't want that. They want to leave the farm and go somewhere else. So a lot of these farms are being bought by corporations, which is, I don't think that's a good thing, but how can you stop
Neither, but nevertheless, it's true.
it?
So
And the whole idea of farming is much more techy, and it's always been an industry. I mean, we've always had university teaching the art of farming,
Yeah.
and
All
it
the
is
UHS,
evolving.
yeah, the schools,
And
the black schools.
and so
That's how
now
they
you
started.
can see in those tractors, you can see the underground water tables and different things that are going to affect future crops. There's a lot going on that tractor. And also, my question is, if I can hack the tractor to play a game, can I hack the tractor to steal it? Because that is not a cheap piece of equipment.
Yeah, those things are expensive.
So it says the company unveiled a self-driving tractor at CES earlier this year and is investing billions of dollars to make farming equipment internet connected and partially automated, able to make decisions on analysis of cloud-based data sets managed by John Deere Operations Center. By 2030, CEO John May expects that 10% of the company's annual revenue will come from software subscription fees. Okay. It's a pretty insecure piece of technology. That might be okay if the tractor wasn't connected to the internet. Kyle Weens, co-founder and CEO of iFixit and a right to repair advocate, told us. The national security problem that we have here is that John Deere owns most of the market, and they have decided in their infinite wisdom to connect most of our nation's agricultural machinery to the internet. Okay, that's happening anyway. So,
well, they could be connected to the internet, but they have to be connected to an intranet and then have some kind of security on the connection between the intranet and the internet. That's the way to do it. Not, you don't do a direct line to the internet.
No.
So again, like I said, this company is not prioritizing technology the way they need to.
And here's the thing, maybe one of the reasons why they thought they could get away with it was because in a lot of rural areas, there is no real good internet connection.
Right.
I mean, some of these farmers have to travel 2-3 hours just to get to an internet cafe.
Right. But see, Google's working on that though. Google's working on,
and so is the government working with them.
Right.
And now we've got these portable things through drones and different techniques.
So I remember a few years ago when there was a thing about all of your appliances and garage door openers and things were connected to the internet and people were like controlling them, the webcams and stuff. But that was a fix. You just fixed the software and it kept all of them out. So again, there's a fix for all of this. You have to prioritize it.
Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit more of this story here.
Okay.
And Donna is over on Clubhouse. Hey, Donna. Transitioning from a tractor company to a data harvesting conglomerate, whatever it is a steep learning curve, SIC code says. And in his view, John Deere has made some missteps. They got a responsibility to take care of the entire food chain. This is the guy who hacked in. They've got insane amount of accountability, and they're also publicly traded. They're just not pulling their weight. Earlier this year, the FBI warned that farmers and other agricultural businesses could be enticing targets for ransomware attacks. If a bad actor wanted to take out America's agriculture, all you need to do is run these tractors into the red line and burn their engines out. You wouldn't even need to drive them. Companies often have bug bounty programs that reward external security researchers and hackers for finding security issues in their products. John Deere established one last year, but the success of the program remains unclear, according to Weens. John Deere declined to specify how many bug bounties it has processed through its responsible disclosure program. So when people, sometimes companies, TJ, you can clarify, they hire people to try and hack.
Yeah, they hire hackers
to see,
the back door.
Fix it.
Yeah, to test the security, test the electric fence, kind of this, right. Where the weaknesses are, because those are the people that know how to break in and hack things. So you hire there was such a thing, ethical hackers who they're doing it for
white hats,
right? The white hat guys, yes. You want the white hat, not the black hat, because he's gonna hack in and okay, you don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna take everything I can get. So you have to decide, and there are companies that do that. So again, the person in the story is saying what I said, that John Deere is not prioritizing technology because there is older people there that are afraid of it or they don't know what to do. But there are people that will show you what to do.
Right. You have to get outside your circle and go ask.
Right.
Especially if it's a new vehicle. You want, I think, I don't care how old you are. If you're buying a new vehicle, you want to know how to operate it.
True. But there's some that don't. There's some like they don't want to.
Blaming it on the purchaser.
Right. They're mad. And this is a mindset. They're mad because technology is taking over everything. And it's like, why does it have to be? Because in their mind, they remember
and they don't need to buy a new tractor.
Right. So
they're not the customer for this.
Right.
So let me continue. It says automakers are also facing new cybersecurity concerns, but the standards that are becoming widely accepted in the EV industry, electric vehicle industry, for example, are not yet well understood or regulated for other autonomous and connected machinery. David Chaddock, director of cybersecurity consulting firm West Monroe, told us. When you talk about all the equipment, it's almost on a spectrum of more toward the Wild Wild West, TJ's line. He said autonomous vehicles, which may or may not be electric, that kind of stuff. There right now is no federal regulation of you must.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the EV industry has put some stuff in on their own because it needs to be there.
Right. And there is no government. There's been talk recently of taking something from Department of Homeland Security and making that internet agency, so to speak. I forgot what the terminology is, but the government is trying to do it. But again, they're behind the times. They've always been behind the curve of the internet is faster than the government. So they're playing catch up. And then you have these corporations who, they're looking for guidelines from the government because they're not ready. So they have to do their own thing.
And the government always has the lowest bidder. So, they got cheap equipment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And they're behind.
It says, so the industry also faces a potential challenge of hiring software developers or cybersecurity experts into legacy companies that may not be perceived as high tech, Chaddock said. And that's the issue.
Or diverse.
John Deere is not perceived as high tech,
right?
But hiring software developers or cybersecurity people to go in, it's I guess it's a challenge. So right now across the board, you've got a talent shortage. When it comes to cybersecurity, it's even more amplified. Hartman said in an email that the company has opened 2 tech hubs in Austin, Texas, and Chicago, as well as working with several universities to help attract new talent.
And see, that's another challenge. You have these legacy companies that aren't viewed as diverse or friendly to these young tech savvy graduates. Do I want to go work for that company knowing its history? And, am I going to be the fly in the buttermilk over there? And, am I going to be happy?
Right.
So, yeah, recruiting talent, you have to have an all around positive environment. And then keeping it. Why do you think they allow people to bring their pets and everything else to work at Google? Because they want to keep them on campus. Yeah, we'll bring your lunch to your desk.
Wow, keeping employees happy. What an amazing concept. I would have never thought of it.
So, yeah, all of that is a problem to, what would you call it? How y'all use a term?
Recruitment?
Recruit people from other companies and other
head hunting.
Yeah, head hunting. Wow. So
I call it stealing talent, but go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the story. I thought it was interesting, about John Deere and their security, and it's a major company trying.
It's over 100 years old, right?
Right.
Yes.
And trying to get into and trying to stay relevant. Now you got to give them props for trying to stay relevant. They just need to do more to make sure
they got to do more.
They got to. That's what I'm saying. They got to do more to stay secure, because it's just like, okay, we're gonna do this, but you don't put no locks on the door.
You have to keep abreast of technology, even though you're as afraid. Like I said, maybe their management team is afraid, or they don't.
Well, maybe they thought they didn't need it.
But
maybe they just, you don't know.
No company can think that. Not now. You're behind if you haven't, put these things into place.
Yeah. So, okay, so it's kind of interesting.
Innovate or die is the term, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, you do, and in your field, and one thing is they're sticking with their field. They're not trying to innovate. Oh, him will be over here and over here. They kind of staying in their field, but they just need to innovate better. Do more. Okay, that was my little side story. I was like, oh, I thought that was interesting.
Okay. Oh, Mark has a
comment.
They are not viewed as diverse because they're not. At some point, perhaps organizations will realize that if you actually invest in your employees as a person, Not at the risk of ultimately losing them as an employee, they will invest in you and become your greatest advocate for life.
A company is nothing without an
Thank you.
employees without good employees.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's just how it works. And like Carolina said, if they're not happy, they're leaving. They have options now.
Hmm.
They
There are
can,
like options everywhere.
yeah. So, and a lot of I read this. I got to finish reading the story about millennials, and they're doing something called soft life, where they don't want the rat race.
And you
They want
can't blame them. They don't have
right.
each
Dr. Tachi's here.
generation gets should get better.
Hmm.
Okay, we moved to the city, so we didn't have to milk cows and make
Right.
our own soap and
Hmm.
shoot chickens in the backyard. Okay, so now if it's easier for you to work from home and you get the work done, I don't blame
Right.
them. I
And
take
a
that
lot of them
road
are
too.
they're moving to Mexico. Mexico is the number one place for, and I read
Well, there
another
seems
story
to be a
about
lot of space available.
a lot of across the generations, millennial on up to baby boomer, number one destination for them to move to, and like you said, to have the remote life and remote work and get the most for their money is Mexico.
Hmm.
So they're all moving there.
Yeah,
Dr.
and when we
Tachi.
used to
Yeah.
when we used to
Good
visit
morning.
San Diego, we just went across the bridge to dinner. Had dinner in Mexico.
Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Good morning, everyone. So
Hey.
hey, it's it's interesting because that whole quote digital nomad life is becoming more and more of a thing, and especially we all know because of the pandemic, people are like, well, if I don't have to live in a crowded city that will cost me $7,500 a month for a studio, why not move to
Hmm.
Mexico or
Okay.
someplace? And these places, these governments, they're even, I've been reading, I get this digital newsletter called AFAR, AFAR, and it's about travel, but it's also about stuff like this. So they recently had something in there about some of these governments, working with these quote digital nomads, setting up their whole areas set up for them. In terms of so that the internet is good and that type of thing.
The infrastructure. The infrastructure.
Yes,
Yeah.
infrastructure, exactly. They're putting in infrastructure, and I love it. The other end of this, I'm always looking at the humanistic end of this, is that there are sometimes some locals who complain about digital nomads coming in and basically gentrifying everything and
Right.
making it more difficult for local people. They're already not like in Mexico, people are not making a lot.
Right.
It depends where you go. But for
Right.
somebody that's an American coming over there, even if you make, minimal, you're probably going to be doing quite well, maybe
Mhm.
even better than the average Mexican. And
Yeah.
there could be some resentment for that type of thing. So I think we need to come to how do you come in and not gentrify? And gentrification has nothing necessarily to do with
With race. Yeah.
it can be irrespective of that.
Right.
It's people with money coming in, changes are made for them, but they give no thought to the local culture. So I think if you're going to do that, you have to try and also be immersed in the culture. At the very least, can you learn to speak Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
At the very least.
Agreed.
It's like that. So
Agree. I agree with you, Dr. Tachi. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to move to Mexico and go. Well, I'm not going to learn Spanish. I'm not. I'm just going to keep. I'm just going to go around speaking English.
And I'm in an expat
Right. And
neighborhood.
and the area I live in is like that's their native language. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing. I'm American. I'm just going to figure it out, or you guys figure it out. It's that kind of attitude. So you're right. It shouldn't move there with that expectation. So
Well, I think this has been going on a while because people been
yeah, no,
planning
it's not
to
new to
retire.
Mexico. It's not new. It's not new.
Mm-hmm.
Marga has another comment.
See, let's see here. When I was a PWC, I hired a creative team that would normally never be in such a conservative environment. I recruited them to make me and the organization successful. I sat down and talked to them about what they ultimately wanted in their life, not at this job. Okay, so overall, turn. I told them that I didn't expect them to stay with PwC. We looked at ways that the job could help fuel them to get to that end. I connected the dots every day between what I needed from them and what they needed for their dreams and desires. Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's unique. Yeah. Well done, Mark.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But would we expect any less from Mark Ford? Seriously.
No.
No.
No, we would not. He is a hero, I'm telling you. Okay, so
I'm ready whenever you
yeah,
guys are.
You got the floor, Dr. Tachi.
no,
Oh,
TJ has the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry, TJ.
okay. All right. So this week in social media news, let's talk about YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is now going to share ad revenue with shorts creators. So the short creators will be able to join YouTube's partner program, and they're going to share an ad revenue. So the changes are going to go into effect early next year. It could help YouTube draw creators away from TikTok, where people have, there's a creator fund over there, but they're saying that it's like pennies per view, but YouTube is going to give shorts creators like dollars per view. So they're going to make much more money. I think it was like 45% more. Oh no, 45% of the ad share for YouTube Shorts.
Nice.
So they're doing that on it's the first time they're doing some real revenue sharing for short form video at any platform. This was the YouTube Chief Product Officer Neil Mahone said during an event. So creators have to have of course, to get into the YouTube partner program, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and then you have to have the 4,000 4,000 hours of watch time. So they're saying that you have to get 10 million views on shorts in a 90-day period to apply for the partner program. So ads will appear on shorts between the videos, and they're saying revenue from the ads will be pooled and split among creators. Creators will get a 45% cut of the ads, regardless of whether they use music or not. So and this is a quote from this what is his name? Where is it? Oh, YouTube Chief Product Officer Neil Mahon said each creator is paid on their share of total shorts views, and this revenue share remains the same even if they use music. They will also YouTube will also start testing a tipping feature called Super Thanks in Shorts, because remember they have the Super Thanks in on your channel with your regular video, so they're putting it in Shorts. So all of this is supposed to roll out next year. Let's see. Also, they're doing something called fan funding. So they're lowering the requirement for getting features like super chat, thanks, stickers, and channel memberships, because there's of course there's a level of subscribers and things that you have to get these extra features. So they're lowering the requirement. So, and YouTube has done that for a while. It's like to get in the YouTube partner program, it used to be something much higher, and they realized that people are complaining, so they're lowering the bar to get into all of these things. They're also adding something called Creator Music, a section of YouTube Studio where creators can purchase affordable, high quality music licensing that offer them full monetization potential. So they'll keep the same revenue share they usually make on videos without any music. Creator Music will also offer the option to use songs without paying up front, and instead the creator and the artist will share revenue from the video. So that's what YouTube now. So they're pushing this shorts feature that they put in place, and they're making incentives for people to make more shorts. So get out there and make those shorts.
Oh, may I respond to this?
Yes, please do.
So this is really interesting. Obviously, we know all of this. Anybody that is not TikTok, anything they do is a response to TikTok. We already know that, especially when it comes to short form video. We know that. And the funny thing is, TikTok is aiming to become, even though the short form is their thing, they're aiming to YouTube level by extending the amount of time that we get. So now we're at 10 minutes. I won't be surprised that it gets to half an hour, depending on how it goes, right? So it's interesting to watch these things. I'm looking at this, though, because sometimes it's not impossible, but I'm wondering if we're in for a slew of bad shorts. And this is assuming that they're all really...
Oh, yeah. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, because... Yeah,
there's gonna be bad shorts now. There's always bad content.
Right. But I mean, because of the threshold of what you have to have. So in order to be part of the partner program now, it's 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers.
Right.
That's fine. Maybe you could get to the 1,000 subscribers, but the 4,000 watch hours may be problematic for you. Now it feels like it's slightly easier, but this is 10 million views of your shorts that you have to have. It could be problematic for people, right? So you have 1,000 subscribers and 10 million views
on the shorts.
But views, right? So that could perceive to be a little bit easier, but again, it's targeting the same old, because there are people that, now it's like, all right, my shorts may get like 6 or 7 views, for example, right? So if your shorts get 6 or 7 views, to get to 10 million, how many shorts do you have to make? So you're on this hamster wheel to constantly produce content for little output, because there's this promise of, I'm going to get 45% as opposed to the pennies that they usually give, which is still pennies. But yeah, I just know that we're in for a slew of bad shorts, because people are trying to meet this threshold as opposed to shorts that really count. But I don't know even the point of shorts. So
okay, here's the thing. The shorts, just like you said, they need to count. So now if you're doing the content, are you doing it to try and go for the money, or are you doing it to share information with your audience?
Right. And here we go. This is the line, and Dr. Todd is right for bringing this up. This is the line between you're an influencer or you're there to use YouTube to build your business, support your brand, and you make money with other things. You're not concerned with getting into this program where you get the dollars on your views. And like Dr. Shaji said, it's 10 million views in a 90-day period. So if you're not an influencer, that's a thing that like I don't really care about, really. Honestly, I don't. I'm like, okay, that's good for the influencers because they're doing that on TikTok. So it's for those people that want build the views, get the likes, and get the attention of the brand sponsorship, and then they get the money versus the other side of it.
The rest of us who are providing information for your target audience.
Right.
Because when I put my shorts out, I'm putting it out there for people who want to buy a home. Okay, here's what you need for this. Here's the little tip for that. I'm really not trying to go for
because you're not in it to get this pot of money from the views as an influencer, because we're not influencers. You influence people, yes, but I mean influencer like an influencer marketing, and I'm trying to think of all of these influencers that are big names and they make money off of the views.
Right. And so that's where people, I think, and you talked about this on a Tuesday, you're going for talking to your audience, not going for talking to the masses, because we don't serve everybody.
Right. Because you can talk to them in shorts, or you can talk to them in a regular video. But the thing that you do on your channel is driving the call to action to buy your thing that you're selling, whether it's a product or a service, and you got to wait for them to get it. So that's why I always say there's 2 tracks. And I'm not on the influencer tracks. I'm like, okay, they can, they want to give them money. TikTok, go ahead, whatever. But there's other people that are building up their brand using TikTok and using YouTube and using Instagram and blah, blah, blah. And if they get it, okay, well, but I've got my system in place where I get money through the things that I do, using these platforms.
Oh, you mean
I think people don't realize it. And I always try to differentiate and say, listen, it's not people lump it together. I'm like, no, It's two separate tracks, and you had to decide what's my goal. If I want to be an influencer, then yeah, I care about this shorts thing and getting the 10 minutes. But if I'm not, I'm on the other track and I'm good. Doing my thing with the strategy that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And not looking at this and getting distracted and going, oh, I want some of that money. But you know what kind of output you have to do to get this 10 million views on shorts and things like Dr. Tati said.
I can't even imagine what you'd have to do to get to 10 million views.
You know what that sounds like?
And see, I'm looking. I was looking at my YouTube app, and I'm looking at the short shelf. And there's one short with 1.8. There's another one with 5 million, 4 million, 8 million. So there's people that's going to hit this, but they aren't on YouTube for brand building. They're there to get a viral hit with a short.
And most people, when they're coming in, because a short, just like you taught us a couple of weeks ago, that TikTok is a new search engine. And so in the shorts, people you still need to answer the questions for people. It's
not about making the short form video. It's about what do you provide? What are you giving? Is it empty calories or is it a full course meal?
Empty
that's
calories.
Going to satisfy somebody longer than a snack.
Right. And then not everybody sees a snack just because it has 10 million views. I'm like, okay, is it going to be interesting to me? Mark said, I'll be happy with 10 views.
And see, these are the things. These are the little things that YouTube puts on a hook to get people to come over and do shorts. Same thing with TikTok. Oh, here you get a chance to get all this money with your video. And I'm like, well, I don't care about that. I'm here to, reach my audience and educate them and build them into a community and a brand to where I could be anywhere and they'll buy from me because they know me, not because I made a short or a TikTok. I think that's where the thing is happening where my daughter just came. I'm like, what? Like that's where the thing is happening to where this stuff is going on. So it's out there. So if people want to get I'm going to YouTube and make shorts because I'll get more money versus TikTok. Have at it. If you're getting 10 million views on TikTok, you might want to move over to YouTube because you're going to get more money. They're going to pay you more because of the ad share.
Right.
That's really what it is.
So they're talking to the people who are already doing high volume.
Yes.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean say smaller YouTube. You have a smaller YouTube channel and you're not there for the influencer. You should still do shorts because that's where YouTube is putting the focus. Same thing with Instagram Reels. You want to grow your Instagram, you have to do the Reels because that's where Instagram is saying we are putting the focus, and they tell you it's not a secret.
No.
Adam Mosseri comes on. He comes on he tells you everything. He had one before. It was like using hashtag because we talked about this they're saying don't use hashtags. I'm like, yeah, you use hashtags.
Right.
What? He told you to use hashtags.
And I'm gonna put a shameless plug in here. We got a short form video workshop coming up to help you create. So you can go and create your short form videos without a major hassle. That's what we do. And so you can get in on whether you're going to do Reels or whether you're doing YouTube Shorts or whether you're doing TikTok. You will be ready.
Right.
October 1st. And we will put a link in the chat.
Okay. There you go. All right. So if that's, we can move on to, if there's no more about YouTube. No? Okay. So we'll move on. To TikTok, we were just talking about them. They're they're the star of the show. TikTok is letting users tag books in their clips because it's something called book talk. Now, the thing about this is that TikTok is divided up into little countries, I like to call it. Like, there's food talk and there's this talk and that, where they all congregate around a topic. So book talk is about people that talk, they talk about books that they love, and there's a whole community on that. So they're saying they're letting a creator add a link to a book when they talk about the book, which enabled you to search for the book by title, and then you connect it to your clip. And then once you add the book, that link will refer your viewers to a dedicated page with details about the title and a summary, collection of other TikTok clips that have links to the same, making it easier to get insight into the book. So this is TikTok's explanation. Users in the US and UK can now access the book talk feature by clicking add link, searching for the book before posting the video. Users can tag any Penguin Random House title available in their respective country, and once the video is posted, the selected titles will be featured above the captions. Okay, so we got that.
So sort of like a book club recommendation.
Right. So people go on and talk about the books that they love and everything. So now this is a way for them to, get attention for the book. I'm not sure if they share in the sales of anything. I didn't see anything about that. But book talk they're not sharing in the revenue. And they use the hashtag book talk. So it's one of the most popular hashtags on TikTok, at 77 billion views. So they're saying that TikTok has now become a key promotional consideration for book titles, with TikTok discussion directly credited with boosting book sales on TikTok. Now this is like I don't think it's called music talk, but everybody in the music industry, they try to get their song on TikTok to where people make the dances to it and it becomes popular. Yes. That's the same thing they're doing with the book. Right.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds, did I hear you correctly that it's only from one publisher though?
Yeah, I think it's from Penguin Random House. That's what they're saying. Yeah, so it's a partnership with Penguin Random House.
Random House.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It will enable users to tag books within their TikTok clips. Now here's another quote from someone on Elle magazine wrote this: said, over the course of the pandemic, book sales have skyrocketed. According to Forbes and NPD BookScan, the US print book market is up 9% compared to 2020. This recent spike in sales has been attributed to TikTok's reader-centric community, Book Talk. So this is where people are talking about particular books that they like. So, but now they can link to the book instead of just telling somebody, well, go over there or go here and buy the book or whatever. And this is where the sales are coming from. So they're connecting this, the book sales, saying, where is it coming from? Well, it led back to TikTok and people talking about the books they love. So now they're putting this option in. Okay. Now, the other side of this book talk, I'm going to switch real quick to Amazon because I found this story. I was like, that's interesting. So Amazon is tightening its ebook return policy to stop the book talk trend. So what people are doing is they're buying the ebook, read no more than 10% of the book, and then get their money back. What? Amazon says, no. You bought a book, you're gonna keep it. So this is what's happening. So this is what's happening. Because of the book talk, then they're going to buy the book and they read a little bit of the book and they go, okay, and they return it. Amazon will take returns. They don't want you to return everything because they'll stop you. If you buy stuff, just regular stuff on Amazon, you keep returning. They're like, wait a minute, no, we're not doing that. So this is what they're doing for the books. So they're saying that there were complaints that Kindle buyers were returning titles they fully read to get a refund. So they're saying now, because of the book talk, people were buying it and reading 10% of the book and saying, I want my money back. Okay,
so they might buy it and read the middle of the book or something. I don't know.
10%, and they could tell by whatever the number of pages.
Yeah.
And they're saying they tracked it back to book talk. So the book authors raised concern about an uptick in returns, noting that Amazon would bill them for any royalties they earn from the books. And they're saying they pinned the practices rise on the book community from TikTok, and they have a press release saying the Authors Guild blamed book talk influencers for encouraging people to get free books by buying them and returning them. So Amazon has policies and mechanisms in place to prevent our ebooks return policy being abused. But now they're saying, okay, wait a minute. They see something going on. So Amazon is putting a stop to it.
Because I'm trying to understand, if we bought a regular book, we can't just take it back after we done highlighted it.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah, let me get my money back.
Well, exactly. What I kind of blame Amazon for this one, because my thing is like with an ebook, should they really allow returns?
No,
I didn't know you could return. I've never.
I didn't know either.
I've never.
Listen, I've seen people return moot. So this.
That one I bought, I'm like, okay, it's an ebook. I bought it. I'm keeping it. But
it's like a book you buy a magazine. You can't just take it back to the store.
It's kind of like, speaking of that, friend, it's like, remember the book stand, you would go and look at the they didn't want you to look at all the magazines because you could stand there and read the magazine and go about your way instead of buying the magazine.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like.
Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Go ahead.
Well, what could possibly happen is, with like what they did with, for example, textbooks and older books, you could resell them. So is there some way maybe to have like a digital reselling of a book that you bought? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, you can't give it back, but you can resell it nominally to somebody else. So if you pay, for example, $2.99 for the ebook version of it, you could resell it on the Amazon Marketplace maybe for like $1 or $1.99, something like that.
Right. No, I know what you're talking about with textbooks, right?
Right. I was like, not even a textbook, it's just a book in general. Okay, I want to give this to somebody else.
The thing is, what about this article that's stunning to me is that it has sparked a whole trend of people. That's really what triggered the response from Amazon.
Well, I think I didn't investigate. I will, but I think earlier on in the book talk group of thing on TikTok, they were telling people to buy the book and then read it and send it back or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody actually was encouraging.
Yes, encouraging it.
People didn't know.
And people didn't, because I didn't know that you could take a book back on, especially on a digital version.
Thought about that. Never ever going, well, okay.
Yeah, I never knew that you can take Kindle back.
That obviously they're saying it you can.
Well,
okay,
here's what I want to know.
Anymore.
This is what I want to know. If they return the book, does that mean now they gotta?
Well, see, this is how it how it became about, because the authors were like, wait a minute, something going on with my money, because I guess they were taking the royalties back because the person returned the book. So that's not good.
That was my question. Yeah.
They're
coming back for their money.
So basically, over on the book talk, they were not necessarily taking money from Amazon or whatever. They're taking money from the authors.
Right, because they're encouraging people to go, oh, I read this book and you for free, and you can read this book for free. This is how you do it. That must have been something going on.
That's all that scam.
Why can't we use our powers for good? What kind of rubbish is that?
Exactly. Why not just tell them to go buy the book?
Because here's the thing, they would never do the same thing. I mean, even though we don't, like, okay, with songs, with Amazon Music, you buy the song, that's too bad. You can't take it back. So
no.
Why are books different?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, when you download music on Apple, Spotify, or whatever, you don't get to go, whoops, I didn't like it, and you did no, it's in your library.
Here's another thought I just had. That like, if you're on Book Talk and talking about a book that you like, you can go to the library and check it out for free. They got ebooks.
They do.
So why do you have to do these shenanigans of going to buying a book, reading, and then sending it back saying, oh, I don't want this book?
Amazon, I'd lock it down. I'm sorry.
They are. So Amazon is saying that they have to send a customer service request that will manually be reviewed and subject buyers to penalties if they habitually abuse this service. And this is what Amazon does. If you keep buying regular stuff on Amazon and sending it back, they like, whoa, wait a minute, you can't send everything back. They stop you because you're buying and sending everything back. So they don't. Amazon doesn't want that.
I'm talking about for the books. Just don't get no return on the books.
Well,
on the digital books. You know what
They're
I'm
not
saying?
doing that. They're saying, well, you have to go through a manual process of why you don't want. So I guess maybe they're trying to discourage this practice before
There we
shutting them
go.
out
Yeah,
completely.
okay, he trying to be nice.
Thank God
Thank
for
God for
libraries.
Yes.
Discourage it by not allowing returns. You don't get returns on digital books.
That they should do that, but I don't know why they're not.
I don't know why that wasn't a thing early on.
Like, buy an ebook, read it, and return it.
That's so wrong on so many levels. Go ahead.
It ain't like we can, because we can resell the books on our shelves. You know what I mean? You put them back up on the thing. Okay, you read it, and that's the whole point. When there's a book on Amazon, it'll tell you, oh, you can get it in it as a used version. It has highlights or whatever, but you don't get to give back the book.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so switching back to TikTok, there's one more thing from them. This came out, I think, today. TikTok rolls out comment dislike buttons for all users. So there's a comment dislike button. So it works like every other, whether the dislike button is a thumbs down button to express your displeasure or undo the action if you've had second thoughts. TikTok says the feature is another way to get feedback regarding irrelevant or inappropriate comments. So they're saying a comment with a large volume of dislike will kind of get the attention of TikTok about hate and see if it's possible hate speech, spam, or trolling that they might miss otherwise.
Okay.
So that's from TikTok. So they've got a dislike button. All right. So Instagram they're testing a new nudity protection feature to shield users from unwanted images in the DMs. So this time, they're putting a new nudity filter that will block nudes in your IG direct messages.
Okay. Thank you.
So they're saying they'll scan incoming and outgoing messages on your device to detect potential nudes and attached images. When they detect the nudes, the system will blur the image and so that it wouldn't be downloading and analyzing your email. Oh, they're saying they won't download and analyze for this feature. It will be done on your device. So they're saying that, and then people are concerned that your operating system is checking your messages and filtering based on the content. Apple says they're not downloading the actual images, and this is all done with machine learning AI data matching, which doesn't trace or track the specifics of your personal interactions. So Instagram is putting a little filter to have AI detect a nude image and blur it in DMs. And they're not scanning your messages. It's just, before it gets sent to your device, it'll be blurred.
Okay.
Okay, but they're not doing nothing about all these people that are joining up and following you with all
the bots, blocking the bots.
They're not doing nothing about that.
Oh well, priorities. That's where they are. All right, so one more from Meta Facebook. They are adding new page features to help creators connect with fans and get discovered. They some new features were released this week. So they're doing so it's a new setting for creators that make content exclusively available to top fans and subscribers. Creators can select the option by going into their audience settings and selecting the top fans options when sharing a new post. So this is one of those things if you've seen, you can be the top fan of somebody in a group or a page, and you get a little badge on your thing saying you're a top fan of so and so and so. So they've added creator endorsements, which give creators the option to spotlight each other and invite their followers to follow another creator that they like. Once a creator that you follow endorses another creator, you will receive a notification that will ask you if you want to follow this recommended creator. So they're also testing something called new rising creator alerts to help people discover new voices that they be interested in. And what it is that the example that they have says so it's the person's avatar picture, and then under it says rising creator, and then it says congratulations, name, whoever the name, you've earned the top spot in the top 1% of rising creators this week. And then you can create a post and celebrate this rising creator with all of your fans on the page.
Okay, so somebody likes you today.
Yeah.
And
It's like a spotlight. You could say, hey, you know, this is the rising creator. And then also you could say you might want to follow them.
Right. Which they do anyway, because I still get those messages now that say you might want to follow so-and-so because Terry Johnson and Dr. Tachi follow this person. You might want to too. Okay, we're getting those already.
Right. So this highlighting of rising creators is a part of Meta's recommendation change. Remember, they're going to start pushing content from profiles that you don't follow. Remember that that they said last month, and people were like, "Oh, who is this person? I'm not connected to you." So this is what's happening. This is a part of it. Facebook is also adding new posts and story templates, providing you another way to show appreciation for your fans. So it's like a little thing you can say, create posts, and it says big shout out to my newest top fans, and then list them, and then it will send them a notification that you put out a story and then you tag them. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about tagging, and then people get curious. Well, who are these people? And then you see the story, you say, well, who are these people? And you tap on the names, and then you go to their profile or their page or however you link them. So this is part of this. Discover more rising creators to follow. Yeah, so they're saying the templates will help increase engagement. So we'll see. Meta. We'll see. Okay, and that's it for this week in social media news and updates.
Woohoo! Then we got Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, you ready?
Hey, everybody. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Well, I hope everybody has had a great week thus far. Lots of stuff happening in the world of media, of course. There's some things we talked about on Wednesday that I will cover, and then some other new things that are happening, which is very, very interesting. All right. Well, I talked about this Wednesday for those of you that are Spotify aficionados, and we just talked about books, right? So this may be a little boon for Spotify. So they've launched an audiobooks business with a la carte pricing. So if you already have a Spotify account and you think you're going to be able to use your good Spotify points to get discounts on this, think again, because there are no discounts for you if you are a Spotify premium subscriber. They're trying to make a separate thing altogether. And so let's talk about this a little bit. They're offering 300,000 audiobooks for purchase, which you probably can't take back. Book Talk at launch. I'm just saying. And again, they're positioning it as separate from the premium subscription for music and podcasts. So I don't know. They haven't talked about how much it's going to be yet. This is according to the Hollywood Reporter. I had said it's probably going to be something nominal because since they are not offering a discount. Now, here's the thing. So, you know, Amazon owns Audible. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get a discount on Audible. And if you have Prime, sure, you have noticed periodically, they're like, hey, you have some free ebooks. So they'll give you some free books and people, you know, ways to kind of draw you in to the Audible ecosystem, Amazon ecosystem. But they're not doing this with Spotify. Why? I don't know. So my biggest guess or my biggest thing is in terms of what they're going to do is that it would be probably something very nominal in terms of a fee. And before year's end, they may rethink that policy of not giving you a discount. Because if I can already, for example, use Amazon Music, and I like using Amazon Music, and I have Prime, right? Which gives me discount. And why would I then pay you, Spotify, a premium subscription plus something for books when I could just go with Amazon? Well, I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of change to it before the year is out.
Well,
yeah.
And
So,
yeah, because how many titles do you get? Because most people, when they go to audiobooks, they're going to Amazon off the bat.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
don't
right,
think
exactly.
I don't
And
think
because, you know,
Spotify.
no, I don't think Spotify either. But Spotify is trying. I'll give them that.
Mhm.
But also, nobody really thinks Amazon Music so much. They think Spotify when they think music,
Right,
right?
right. So everybody needs to
So,
stay in their lane.
and that's what I'm saying. You stay in your lane. You know, this to me seems like a move of trying to really recoup a lot of money that they have spent. Spotify, that is. Nobody told you to pay Joe Rogan $200 million. Who told you to do that? So,
Well, we have a comment over here, Dr. Tachi. I listen to some good books because of the free books with Audible via Amazon. Okay.
Right.
Because
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. They offer books. I get emails all the time. I just have not yet. But you know, if you're really a reader, you probably are going to go with the tried and true, which is Amazon, which offers a lot in terms of both traditionally published books and self-published through Amazon, ebooks through Audible, audiobooks through Audible, ebooks as well through Amazon. So I fail to see how this is going to become a thing. They're going to have to use a lot of persuasion. What you're going to have to do is woo the customer away from Amazon for this to work. And I don't know how that's going to happen.
That's gonna be a chore.
No.
Because
and if they're up for it, go ahead.
Because most of us are like entrenched. My Amazon, my Audible is already set up. I can go in there. Oh, I need to get this book. The first place I'm going is to Audible to get the book. I don't have to do anything else. Just find the title, click, and download it. How many credits do I have? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need to think another thing.
And so also, you know, the big thing is there are a lot of people that I know that are authors. They're really loving you know, the whole Kindle Vella thing,
right?
And which is serialized, where you're putting up like a chapter at a time, basically, and people are using their coins or points or whatever it is to buy or tokens to buy chapters. So you get 3 free, and then after that you buy the token. You can buy like a package of them. So that's really gaining in popularity. So Amazon has added all of these products and Spotify is a newbie. So you are contending, and not that it can't work. I'm not saying that at all. But you are contending with Amazon, who started off as a book retailer. You are starting off with somebody who started that way. It doesn't mean that you cannot make a dent in the market, but it's with, again, pulling the customer away from Amazon. Also, the level and quality of products you have to offer in terms of books. And because you are audio, it would make sense. You definitely could do audiobooks as well.
Right.
So we'll see. I am rooting for you, Spotify. I don't want people to think I'm always against these
companies. See, here's another thing with this. If you're in Spotify and say you have the Spotify Premium and you're in that ecosystem using it, and then all of a sudden a little thing pops up and say, oh, are you interested in the audiobook, blah, 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 and you go tap it, because they captured you in that ecosystem. Same thing with Amazon. It's like we're captured in there because if you have a Prime membership, you anything that they add to that membership, you're going to say yes, because you're paying for it. So that might be what they're looking for.
And maybe they're just talking to their audience and not
right. Because if you're in Spotify and they pop this thing in front of you, you're going to check it out. So a lot of this is like, you know, they're in the ecosystem of, okay, I'm in there.
Right. And now I'm in the Apple ecosystem, and Apple has audiobooks, but I don't go to Apple for audiobooks.
Right.
I don't. I go to
because we don't Amazon. It's not for that.
I don't do
right. So sometimes being part of the ecosystem is not an advantage because you're used to what you're used to. So even if you have everything across the board, like, okay, I have a lot of Apple products, everything except my phone is Apple. I still don't use like Apple Gaming, Apple Pay, any of those other things, because that's just not what I do. I've already been entrenched in like maybe another system. So it really is an uphill battle for many companies to get people away from something that they know well that's been working for them, because it's also a hassle to switch.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. I think that you hit the nail right on the head. Okay, now I got to learn a new way of doing this, and I'm just going to stick with what I know. That's the deal.
Today's agent, exactly. That's what they're trying to do. So, moving on to also to tag on to what Terry was talking about with YouTube, and she was talking about YouTube Shorts, but I don't think you talked about the YouTube Shorts ads that are coming, did you?
No.
Okay. So, good. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to talk about them. So, all these announcements came out of something that they did, an event called Made on YouTube. And they do this basically every year. And they made multiple announcements. One of them was the YouTube Shorts being eligible for the creator program.
Mm-hmm.
But here's another thing. In 2023, ads are going to begin running in between videos on YouTube Shorts. So ads are coming to YouTube Shorts. So to compensate creators for the ad revenue that they generate, they're going to adjust the partner program to make monetization easier to enable on short form channels, which part of it is what Terry talked about, and part of this is, well, we have to pay you somehow. Ads are coming to Shorts. So when we look at these things, we can't just look at them surface. There's a real.
Dr. Tachi, let me stop you real quick for a second. And remember that ads run on every YouTube video, whether you're in the partnership program or not. I don't know if everybody realize that.
Yes.
YouTube puts ads on everything now. Everything. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that.
And so
somebody getting paid.
Somebody's getting paid, and it's not you.
Yeah, it's not you.
I mean, Terry, the fact that you brought that up is absolutely critical, because that if they're putting them in front of every and behind and in between every video, then this means that somebody is making money off of your content.
Yeah.
That you are working and you're not getting any of it. So if you can find a way to, even though they make the threshold so high, but if you can find a way to be part of these partner programs, if you're already producing content on YouTube and you're not getting paid for it, realize they're getting paid because of you.
Yeah. YouTube.
Find a way to get your ducats.
So with that, a little shameless plug, please subscribe to the BizChicks YouTube channel. We thank you so much for your
support.
Yes, for your support. Okay.
Absolutely. You get shameless. Have shame.
Yeah. Thank you for subscribing.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, and I even get on myself, because on Wednesdays I constantly forget to. I mean, usually Curtis is good about putting up to subscribe to the YouTube, but sometimes I forget. So that's something that we all need to get into. Be shameless, please.
Yeah.
Be shameless. Go ahead and tell people.
Blow your own horn. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because I just wanted to make sure. I know a lot of people don't know that there's ads on every video now, whether you're in the partnership program or not.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of annoying, because you're doing all these things, and especially, I mean, all of us have really good content, right? There are other people that have great content. We may not be monetizing the way, because our concern is providing value as opposed to growing the channel. Which, I mean, you kind of have to be concerned with both. But I know that now.
Yeah, but we still want to grow the channel. We still want to grow our channels.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, say again, Terry.
No, I said we want to grow our channels. You know, the views count, the likes count. That this counts. But it's just unfortunate that we're making the it's called YouTube, so we're making the content, and they're making the money off of our content, but we got to figure out how to get past it. So, all right, I'm sorry for interrupting. Let's get
No, that's good. That's good stuff. There's no such thing as interrupting me. I love the conversation. So I like conversation rather than lecture. So please interrupt whenever you feel like. And this is not, it's connected to this with YouTube. I think it's also, they are, I don't want to say stiffing everyone because that's not always the case, but not everyone is getting the just due. So when they do VidCon and Vid Summit, that's right? That is YouTube that does it. Actually, this year they had a different sponsor, I think. Wasn't it TikTok? It may have been.
I remember.
But,
wait. TikTok is sponsoring VidCon, which belongs to YouTube.
Well, it's. I don't know if it was, for the longest time it was sponsored by YouTube. I don't think VidCon was created by YouTube, but I think
no, it wasn't created by YouTube. It's kind of like when the NFL games was on ABC, NBC. Now they're on Prime. It's kind of like, whoever I guess bid would be the sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think, so it was created by YouTube. All right. So
it was?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
I think so. I don't know, damn it, but whatever. VidCon is it. But it was a major way for online creators. YouTube was the biggest for a while, but this year a lot of the creators came from TikTok. But it's still a big YouTube forum. But what has happened with that is that Ibrahim Raisi was one of the really hard to get subjects for to interview. And Christiane Amanpour was set to interview him while he was in Manhattan, which would have been a first on U.S. soil. So this is important because she canceled an interview with him because she declined to wear the headscarf. So this is important because if you know that it's been there have been a wave of protests, and I'm sure you've heard about this story about 22-year-old Masha Amin, who was arrested for wearing unsuitable attire, arrested and killed for wearing unsuitable attire, or her hijab was not properly done. Right? So Christiane Amanpour tweeted this yesterday. Protests are sweeping Iran and women are burning their hijabs after the death last week of Mahsa Amini following her arrest by the quote, morality police. Human rights groups say at least 8 have been killed. Last night, I planned to ask President Raisi about this and much more, and it's a whole big thread. And she said in one of this thread, I politely declined. We are in New York where there is no law or tradition regarding headscarves. I pointed out that no previous Iranian president has required this when I have interviewed them outside of Iran. So I am interested in your feelings on this. I worked for the World Bank Group for a while I was in my master's program. And I know one thing that they tried to do was sometimes keep the traditions of things. And I remember there was a colleague of mine who had to go through training, which I was like, this is ridiculous that she had to go through training because I can't remember who it was, but there was somebody that was there and he was walking in front and she kept trying to catch up to kind of brief him. But apparently, culturally, that's not something that women did. So she had to go through training because of that. I said, and he didn't? So I was livid, but that's kind of, I've seen that happen before. So I want to know what you think about the headscarf thing, or if you have any comments.
Well, I was following the story, and the thing is, she declined because you're not required to wear that in America. You're required to wear that when you're in Iran, and she said that when she's there. She complies with the law, but she wasn't there. She's here, and she's here. So she was like, "No, I'm not wearing it." And she's absolutely right. I'm in America, or if she's in the UK or whatever. So
it sounds like coming to America. You in America, Jack? What?
You in America, Jack?
I was thinking that. Is this America, Jack?
Well, I have a question. If this is so offensive, how does he avert his eyes from American women while he's here? Because they're not covered.
None of us are. So
Is that a
Good
problem for him?
question. Good
Is
question.
that a problem for him? How does he stay in compliance with whatever it is that he's adhering to? Because we just got it all hanging out. Look at this. Look at this hanging out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Look at all this hanging out.
I'm just asking, how is he diverting his eyes or whatever it is he needs
Good
to divert
question.
he wearing a blindfold?
and showing up in the United Nations?
With this though, I would counter with this: does he have to because of who he is? Do the rules not apply to him?
Evidently, they are selective.
He didn't have to. He didn't have to avert his eyes. Okay, so why should she need to wear the headset?
If he rolls up to McDonald's and said, "Give me a burger," and there's a lady there, what does he now look at? I'm just making a joke, but
I'm just saying.
It's the thing is that when he's in his country, when you're in that country, yes, you do it. She says they do it because otherwise she wouldn't be able to get a story if she didn't wear the hijab. So she wears it over there. But it's like, I'm in New York, I don't have to wear it, and I politely decline. She's very nice.
Yeah.
She said,
When
I
in Rome,
politely decline.
But since you're in Rome, buddy, and he has the right to not show up also. So.
Yeah, he had don't show up. Oh well, we don't care. Moving on.
and I think
absolutely.
Moving on.
And I applaud her for that. I applaud her for that because it shows that we support, freedom of fashion freedom. I don't know what to call it.
Okay, so let me read her quote because I pulled up the story. She says, "Here in New York or anywhere else outside of Iran, I have never been asked by any Iranian president, and I have interviewed every single one of them since 1995, either inside or outside of Iran. Never been asked to wear a headscarf." She said that on TV. That was her quote.
Mm-hmm.
She's never been asked.
So now we got history to show that this is evidently not required. This is a request by Boo.
Since 1995, she's
a request by this individual. Terry,
request anything you want. It ain't happening.
Bloop, we bloop, are in the United States.
Bloop, bloop, moving on.
Because apparently now, the person that was killed, were they in Iran?
Yes.
Okay, there's an issue.
Yeah, she was arrested, and then they're saying that they are saying that she just fell over from a heart attack, but they're saying that she was beaten and then died of a heart. But so they're leaving out the beaten part because they released videos.
The point is apparently what I heard, it wasn't on her correctly,
right?
And so they got a problem.
Had it on,
but she had it on.
Yeah.
Okay,
here's the thing. She had it on. It wasn't to their liking, apparently.
Oh, whatever.
And my thing is, it's just another way to police women. It's one thing if it's cultural. I mean, I'm from a country that's half Muslim, so I understand. But it's one thing to do things according to law, to law. It's another thing that you, as a human, decide what and interpret what that Islamic law looks like. That's not what it said.
Right.
It didn't say it has to be grafted. That is not what the Quran says. So you are just inflicting because you are trying to police and oppress. That's wrong.
Right.
That's me. And anybody can come and challenge me. Come and challenge me if you like. As I said, I'm from a country that's half Muslim. So, and I look at their interpretation of things, and it's not always right either. Nor is the Christian interpretation of things always right. Religion is it's interpretation.
Okay.
That's the thing.
So bottom line, where's the love, people?
So
what's going on? All the younger generation of Iranian women over there that's what's happening. They're in the streets.
They are like
they're burning their scarves, throwing it, and saying we not gonna put up with this no more. So that's what they're in the middle of. So they're trying to suppress that, but it's still going on. So the younger generation is saying they don't want to do this anymore.
This is Gen Z and the millennials taking over.
Yep.
This is bra burning. Okay, so we're done.
People are tired.
Yeah.
So let me add another thing to this, that this also is, I was thinking about the nature of how much power do you give the interviewee, just in general, even if it has nothing to do with covering your head or anything religious. How much do you allow an interviewee to call the shots? When I interview people, I'll say this: I don't even like to give people the questions ahead of time.
Thank you.
They are real uncomfortable and they're like, can you, what I do is I tell them the types of questions, like the fields and types of things I will ask, but I never give them the question because I don't want a robotic AI sounding manufactured interview, which is not genuine and is of no use to my audience. So I'm not going to answer. So I'm not going to give you the questions, but I will tell you what types of things I will ask ahead of time so you can be prepared. Like, yeah, we're going to talk about your background. We're really interested in the book you just wrote. So I'm not going to give you specifically. I said, no, I may ask some other things, but it's just going to be a fun conversation. And I have never, ever, in the whole time I've been interviewing people, had a problem with not giving people questions. And I can tell when there are people, journalists or whoever, that give the questions ahead of time. Or even if somebody wants to interview me, they're like, hey, I'll send you the questions. No, you don't have to. I'm good with whatever you ask. I want it to be a
genuine
interview that is genuine. Yeah. So don't give me the question unless you feel better giving that to me. I'm okay without that. So how much? It came to my mind. How much do you let the interviewee call shots, especially if it's an interviewee that you really want to have? Do you put up with some things because of that? So it's just an interesting question.
I agree.
And that's what I have for you today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Things to think about.
Very much so. And for the people, the ladies and things over in Iran, they this is just unacceptable.
Yeah,
you didn't have that rap right. Really?
This is an example of what Gen Z and millennials are like. We're not going to do it your way. We're tired. We're not going to put up with it and shut up or whatever they want them to do over there. They're like, okay, we got a voice. We're going to use it.
Now, you're making it sound like they're the only people who have morality police. There are morality polices in all cultures.
Yeah.
Right. But these people killed her because she didn't rap it right.
I understand. But I just want you to know that we have our own little thing going too. Like I know when my kids went to high school, your skirt had to be the same length as your fingertips. It couldn't be above. I mean, there were ways to measure stuff, and
but they weren't going to kill you.
You couldn't wear this on your T-shirt,
right?
Different.
And a lot of those rules they're changed for high school now. A lot of those things are changing because the kids say that we don't want to do that.
Right. Going through all of that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a thing now where the teachers, the kids now call the teacher by the first name.
See,
that's what my daughter was. It was like, oh, teacher, I was like, hey, isn't it Mr. So or Miss? No, it's their first name.
And see, that started in the child care center. And I'm like, no, this is Miss Kate to you. No, all other kids no, she gonna call you Miss Kate. She's gonna put a handle on that. Okay, because when she goes to a different state, they're going to require her to say Miss Kate.
Right.
Now, you might not require it in California, but they require it in Alabama, Pennsylvania. Okay. And she needs to be
it's a sign of respect. It's
It's a sign of respect. These people, like a 5-year-old is not my age mate. Therefore, will not be calling me by your first name. My students, I'm a college professor. You don't call me by my first name.
Okay. Not only that, I'm thinking, look, this 5-year-old knows nothing about the black codes when you couldn't have a handle.
Right.
Okay. So people died so I could have that handle, so I could be called Mrs. So-and-so.
Right.
Right. There's a lot of atrocities still happening, and I'm what the? But I mean, anyway, that's just outlandish to me. Just because my fashion wasn't quite up to yours.
Well,
so a lot of things are changing.
All of that. So I just want us to be aware, not to get so high and mighty that we think that we don't have some stuff going on over here too, guys. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you, Dr. Tachi, for making us aware today.
Right.
Raise my blood pressure, Tim's. Okay.
Not mine, but
Sorry.
we just want to say thank you all for tuning in live and on the replay, Instagram live, Clubhouse live, wherever else live. We'll be back on Monday. You can become a part of BizChicks community. Just text biz to 33777 and join in, or you can go to bizchicks.net and sign in that way. Join the community. We do have a workshop coming up on October 1st, and it will be virtual, and I'll put that information in the chat again. But we're going to be doing a short form video workshop, because all the major platforms are all short form video, right, TJ? Everybody.
Yeah.
And you need to know how to create one, but you need to be able to create it with ease, and so that it's easy for you to do. So we got a little way to help you do that. So if you'd like to join that workshop, the information is in the chat. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Terry?
We just want you to know it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, Doc.
Over there on Instagram. Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.